Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 18. A little jet sweep to start the drive. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there, all 11 guys on defense, diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers throwing left side, and Watson has it. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
A check down here to Jones. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. The Packers at 6-3 on the year. And they come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry now for A.J. Dillon. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd down, another run for Dillon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 34.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller, because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And it's caught. Touchdown. Romeo Doubs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start. It's certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here, because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Looking to throw. Prescott. Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A 1st down carry by Elliott. Sewell Douglas there to get him down. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
Like
what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Bullock's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
Well, I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Rodgers now on first down. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Following the interception, here's Prescott.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Darnell Savage.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
They try to set up the screen. Oh, nearly disaster. But it's incomplete. Not much chance of that working. Almost intercepted. It's 2nd down.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Trying to run forward with Pollard. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And that was some effort, but it would appear that he's going to come up about a yard short. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Bullock's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers.
Eyes the crossing route and hits Watson.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
A nice little juke. 7 yards there and a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
A second time. They find some open field here.
He'll get it inside the 20.
Touchdown, Packers.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if we turn to the next-gen stats, the final clocking, well, it's ridiculous. 22.5 miles an hour.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Prescott. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Throwing again on second down. Prescott. And a loose football. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession. Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long. To throw is Prescott. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Even later into his career now, there aren't too many guys that can launch it downfield with accuracy better than Aaron Rodgers.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And the final number on Next Gen Stats, how about this? 71 yards through the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. Third quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 30. It's a 39-yard punt, and good coverage means a loss on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And one thing about a play like this, if it's slow to develop, it can turn out poorly. And this play was definitely slow in developing. And that was one heck of an effort to sprint over there and get the man down before he could make anything happen.
On 2nd down, it's Jones.
Yeah, he'll be stopped at about the 38 after a pickup of 4. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Fielded at the 20. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Prescott.
Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted.
Adrian Amos with a pick.
So still no touchdowns allowed by this defense. They get the interception there. CD, they have been rock solid.
And at this point, I think they have to expect that they're going to see some shots taken down the field. And that was almost a desperation throw right there, just kind of hoping something good can happen, a completion, a pass interference. But this was anticipated well, and they came up with the INT.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw.
He dumps this off to Dillon underneath.
And some room to work. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
A great job there, and that old cliche, taking what the defense gives you, comes right into play. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the throw. Just a little dump off over the middle. But what is out of the ordinary is what he did with it after the catch. Not only did he grab the ball, but how about the significant yardage he picked up after he pulled it in.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Working with a 2nd and 3.
They'll go again to Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Running up the middle, here's Dillon. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the 1st down, keep it.
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the 4th quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this.
And that's caught inside the 30.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And the Packers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Well, we knew this was going to be a tall order anyway, down 2 scores with this little time remaining, but that interception puts an end to any hopes that they had.
All right, partner, work with me here because obviously scoring a touchdown, getting the onside kick, then going down, scoring again, well, that's asking a lot, isn't it? And that's really not a great expectation to begin with. I think they'll look back on this game and see what got them in this spot in the first place and say to themselves, we really gave this game away.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield, incomplete.
And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments.
You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Green Bay, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tennessee Titans come to town. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.